It's a very good day to you, Amakosigas
Okay.
audiences from wherever you are. I would like to welcome you to this edition of Women's Voices during a time of COVID-19. My name is Spusisiwe Bebe, and today I've got with me Imelda Moyo-Ndlovu, who is a young entrepreneur here in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. And we want to find out from young women that are in business how they have been coping with the COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdown. How are you, Imelda, and welcome to our platform.
Hi, Wusi. How are you? I'm good, thanks. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for agreeing to be with us here. Just to find out briefly, how old are you and what kind of business are you into?
I'm 29, just about to turn 30. I've got various business that I'm doing. We've got a catering business, and then I've got like a side hustle where I sell clothes, and that's basically it, and a PR company as well.
I
Those
know
are the
you're a
two businesses
graduate.
that we're currently working on right now.
Okay, I know you're a graduate, and I'm just interested to know
Yes, I am.
So is any of the business you are into part of what you went to school for, or these are things you are either passionate about or things that you see opportunity to make money from?
Okay, so I'm a media graduate. I've got a master's in journalism with the University of National Science and Technology. So the other one business that is in line with what I did is PR consultancy, where we deal with public relations for companies that's in line with what I did at school. Otherwise, the other ones, like the fashion business, I just saw it as an opportunity to make money. I love clothes. I love making people look good and feel good about themselves. So yes, it's indeed something that I've really taken up, and I've been doing it for almost 10 years now. And yeah, it's been good to me. And then the catering one, it was an opportunity that I saw in the gap. I saw a gap in the market that, we could actually run with this and make a bit of money from it. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I won't complain.
Right, the businesses you mentioned, a lot of them are contact. I mean, you have to meet people. With catering, you have to gather, in fellowship and eat. With fashion, you have to meet people, probably design for them. You need to understand their likes and dislikes in terms of fashion sense, as well as they need to go out and show off the fashion designs and stuff. How has COVID-19 affected you in the sense that it's a pandemic that's really shut us out from the rest of the world?
I lost you there, somewhere there, we'll see.
Okay, so I was saying that a lot
May
of
you
your
please repeat what you're saying? Yeah.
Okay, a lot of your business ideas require you to meet people, to interact with them. With the catering, it's people gathering and eating
Yes.
and fellowshipping. With the fashion, you need to know people's dress sense, measure them. They need to also go out and show off the designs and the fashion. They need to go to functions on the red carpet or whatever. How has COVID-19, being a pandemic that's shut us out from interacting, from socializing, affected you and your businesses?
So, well, the communications ones, the PR one and the catering one, they've just been on complete lockdown, just like we've been on lockdown. But however, the fashion one has been thriving because I think people have just been shopping because they haven't been, they've just been at home. So they've been saving money on fuel, on a lot of things. So, and some gained weight, some didn't, some lost weight, and they had to get new clothes. Some had babies, and so they had to get new clothes and get other stuff, just to make them feel good and put on Instagram, etc, etc. But really, my business doesn't involve designing. So what I do is mostly retail. I stock up stuff that people would want, and then they buy from me, or they actually come and order and say, I would want something like this. Can you order from SA, China, Dubai, wherever, and then their orders just come and they pay. But this has been a very lucrative business because, people saved a lot of money. And what I noticed was that, this COVID actually taught me something, that people don't really need to come to you for them to buy. Sometimes you need to go to them for them to actually purchase stuff from you. So during the lockdown, some would meet halfway and they'll collect their stuff because some were still going to work. And yeah, I discovered that, door deliveries will actually give you more money. And at times you really do not need a shop and office to operate and for your business to be successful. You can just successfully run it from home, and you can cut down on expenses, or like for office rentals, and of course, not hiring other people to help you. But it was just, I think, a copy mechanism. Now people have just sort of gone back to their normal selves. But yeah, COVID did affect us, like compared to the sales that we're doing and what we made, like with other two businesses, we didn't make that much of money than I'd made in December. So yeah, I think it was good and it was bad at the same time. Sales skills and marketing skills, and actually more people skills, because some people just need to be nudged in the right direction for them to give you their money. And yeah, I did learn a lot from this COVID. It did come with these negatives, but yeah, there were quite a number of positives as well. Because I did meet a lot of people that I didn't know, and some clients that usually went to buy from the shop, I met them for the first time. And yeah, it was just good to just see them and have their money.
So for you, this has been both bittersweet kind of experience where you're learning as well as being challenged to look into other avenues. Can you tell me about the new skills that you've learned in terms of digital marketing, things that you were not doing before that you have now been forced to incorporate into your entrepreneurship that you are going to continue with beyond the lockdown and beyond COVID?
Oh, yes. So what I learned during the lockdown was that, you need to effectively communicate with your clients, and that marketing just goes beyond just advertising. If you advertise and someone inquires about your product, you need to go an extra mile to actually convince them to buy. And some, you need to actually engage with them and find out why they really want that particular item. For example, if they say, some people don't even know their sizes, you'd need to then estimate and maybe have a video with them just to see how they look like and what's their body type. And so then you can then easily determine what size they wear. And when the clothes come back, they'll be happy and they'll give you reviews and they'll continue to give you money. So it just goes beyond just marketing and sales. It also goes to having a solid reputation as a business, as a company. So yeah, my PR skills had to kick in there, so that I would actually connect with my clients and make sure that they got their product on time. And if they didn't, you'd need to communicate that, your consignment is not arriving this week, it will probably arrive in 2-3 days time. So I really did learn that communication is crucial and key and pertinent, because customers need that. If you tell them the truth, they'll know that you're not dodgy. And most of them did refer their friends and their clients. And I did really expand my database. And I actually had to draw up and have a list of who they are, what they do, their numbers, their sizes, so that whenever they order, I already know what they want and their size. So it just went beyond that. I had to learn some other skills that I didn't know, and especially like Excel is not my strong point, but I had to use it and factor it in, because indeed I had to make sure that I never missed an order and I never messed up their orders in terms of their sizes, shoe size, dress size, etc. Yeah.
And looking at the other entrepreneurs around you, your colleagues, friends, and other people that are into small business like yourself, do you feel like the environment has been kind to them, or generally a lot of people have suffered and maybe been thrown out of the business because of the situation? What has been your observation of the field of entrepreneurship generally?
I think a lot of people are really affected by the pandemic, and some are slowly picking up the pieces, and some have really said, you know what, I think it's time I got a job. Entrepreneurship is not really working for me. The COVID pandemic hasn't been kind to people because, you know, us as entrepreneurs, we just depend on the money that comes into the business. And if you don't have any substantial income or any income that comes in, you know, every month, then it will be hard. Because I know I've got a few friends that have actually started job hunting because they've said, you know what, once another pandemic hits, what are we going to do? We need something solid. So for some, it's been an eye opener that, you know what, entrepreneurship is not really what they should be doing. They should just go back to their 9 to 5. But some, they did pick up the pieces, and they have slowly, you know, started running their businesses again. But I think like a lot of them have learned a lesson. Most of us have learned lessons that, you know what, you need to save for rainy days. In case a pandemic hits and you don't have money, you should always have money saved up, whether for your business or just for your personal upkeep, and not do like the hand to mouth thing that whenever you get money, you spend it. I think, yeah, a lot of people have really learned that it's good to invest. It's good to have, you know, that cushion, that emergency fund in case anything like this happens, because, you know, we're not prepared for this. We're just told that, you know, there's going to be a lockdown like in January, and it took us almost 5-6 weeks to get back to business. And yeah, we were just from the festive season, and people had spent all their monies thinking that, you know, there won't be another lockdown, and then boom. So yeah, it did come with a lot of money lessons that people need to think about, like the emergency fund, knowing that, knowing that you really need to learn how to pick up the pieces, and, you know, just operating from your comfort zone, because most of us have just started operating from our comfort zones. Yeah, entrepreneurship is really, really a huge step. So yeah, the environment is quite harsh because now, especially with the fashion thing, it's now congested. You really need to find an angle for you to have money. If you don't have an angle, then you won't survive, because almost everyone is doing it now. Some will have cheaper prices than you, but if you've got clients, and you've got consistency, then clients will keep on coming back to you. But if you haven't built that client base, then yeah, it will be a bit hard for you to survive. Yeah.
What I find interesting is that you're saying a lot of entrepreneurs are thinking they have to look for jobs, while on the reverse side, people that were employed lost their jobs and they're thinking, I have to start something to make money from something that is entrepreneurial. So it's like everyone thinks the other side is greener. So as a young female entrepreneur, are there any tips that you'd want to give to other young women that want to get into their own businesses at this time? What would be maybe your top 3 advice points that you'd leave with them?
So what I would want to tell young entrepreneurs is that they should not have one stream of income. Like, if you can have at least 2 or 3 streams of income, that is, have 2 or 3 businesses that will give you money, even if it starts off as a side hustle. You'll definitely make money, because one stream of income, because most of us really are self-employed in our businesses. If we're not, then it means that they are stuck. But imagine if you've got 3 kinds of businesses, then you know that if one doesn't give you money on a particular month, like what you would be expecting, the other one will probably help the other one and bring in a bit more income, and you still live your, the life that you want. So my advice is that have multiple streams of income, no matter how small. That extra dollar, can go an extra mile. That extra $5 that comes in every day can go an extra mile, because you know that if you've got 3 businesses and each are giving you $5 a day profit minimum, let's say $5, by the end of the month, after 30 days, you've got $150 for each business, and by the end of the month, you've got $450. So if you've just got one, then it means you've got $150. But if you've got 3, it means that you've got 450. And yeah, it will really go a long way, because once you start having multiple businesses, then you will consider probably having other investments as well that will give you more money. And yeah, you can build your dream to be the next millionaire, because you know what they say, the average millionaire has got 7 streams of income. So why not? If it means you sleeping late, you got to do it. You need to make the money. You need to leave a legacy. And you know, you never know who you'll meet. You actually build a brand now, and in 10-20 years time, it will be the biggest thing. Look at Econet, where they started off. Now they are one of the biggest brands in Zimbabwe. So yeah, if you really are into this, you need to go in with all that you have. Give it all you've got, but have multiple streams of income. Yeah, that's my advice to other entrepreneurs.
Okay. As we wrap up, maybe just for information, were entrepreneurs in any way, did you get support from government, a cushioning fund of any kind, and how big was it, if at all?
Unfortunately, I didn't get, but I'm sure some did get. I'm not sure how much was it. It should have been 600 bond, I think, but I didn't get any support from the government. So I think really us as small to medium enterprises were really on our own in Zim. And yeah, you really need to make sure that you give it all you've got, because the government will never come to your rescue. I'm sure there are funds out there that help people grow and stuff, but business as government wise, they've never really been friendly to us. That's why, when you know, in the midst of the COVID pandemic, we were the last ones to open, because, well, they say that we were a lot, some of us were not registered. So there are all these conceptions about small and medium enterprises, but there are a lot of us, you know, and, you know, imagine if all of us could manage to pay taxes, would actually make a lot of money. But they don't think that we're that important. But yeah, with this economy and the high unemployment rate, I think a lot of people have just resorted to just being entrepreneurs so that they can put food on the table. But yeah, the government really is not doing much for us. Yeah, that's
okay. Well, that's quite sad, but I hope that whoever's listening and has the power to change that would be able to understand that in your lot is potential to make money for the government or for the state, because once you guys are lucrative, like you said, you can pay taxes and contribute to the national. Well, I'd like to thank you very much, Malta, for your time and for your insights. It opens our eyes a lot to what you guys are going through. And in our small way, we hope that we'll be able to let the world know what you're going through and maybe possibly what you need to get you back on your feet. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much, Busi. Thank you for having me. It was a great session. I did learn a lot, some things that I hadn't even thought about.
It's been a pleasure. So